Well, good evening, and thank you so much for joining us on this 8th day of July 2025. Welcome to Science TV Prime Edition. My name is Chris Mololo. Our sign language interpreter is Esther Kendi. We go straight to our top stories tonight, and former United Nations Secretary General Ban Ki-moon has received Kenya's highest national award, the Chief of the Order of the Golden Heart, CGH, from President William Ruto. President Ruto lauded Ban Ki-moon for his remarkable global leadership, persistent advocacy, and steadfast commitment to building a peaceful, just, and sustainable world during a ceremony at Nairobi's State House. Ruto recognized Ban Ki-moon's contribution in putting climate change on the global forefront, beginning with the 2007 Climate Change Summit and continuing with the constant diplomatic efforts that resulted in unprecedented international cooperation. The president also praised his record of strengthening the United Nations during his tenure, particularly dealing with global crises such as food insecurity, energy shortages, and health pandemics. Moving on, Chief Justice Martha Koome has condemned the violence witnessed during yesterday's Sabasaba Day commemorations. In a statement, CJ Koome specifically denounced the looting and destruction of property that has become a recurring feature whenever protests take place. She called upon those engaging in demonstrations to do so peacefully, emphasizing the importance of upholding the rule of law even while exercising democratic rights. Her remarks follow widespread reports of clashes, casualties, and significant economic losses experienced during Monday's nationwide protests. This is what she had to say.
You are coming in office at a time when our country and our democratic fabric have come under strain through waves of public protests. These moments have reminded us of the delicate balance that must be maintained between constitutional rights to peaceful assembly and protests and the imperative of people-centered professional policing. On one hand, members of the public must exercise their rights to protest peacefully without carrying arms and without engaging in acts of destruction, looting, or vandalism of public infrastructure, such as government buildings, court infrastructure, and even private businesses. It's very painful for even a citizen to lose their property, which they have worked hard to put together. On the other hand, the police must respond with restraint, proportionality, and strict adherence to human rights standards, avoiding actions that could cause unnecessary harm or loss of life. It is also incumbent upon the police to distinguish between peaceful demonstrators and criminal elements, those who infiltrate protests to incite violence and loot, and to apprehend and process such individuals through our justice system.
Health Cabinet Secretary Eden Duale has issued a stern warning to public and other hospitals, cautioning them against admitting patients beyond their designated capacity for the day. During a session with the Parliamentary Health Committee, CS Duale stated that hospitals have been overcharging patients under the Social Health Authority, that's SHA scheme. He urged Parliament to ensure that such fraudulent practices are stopped.
Kenyans will sleep on the floor and 2 other Kenyans will be on a bed. They don't know each other, they don't have the same disease, and then we talk about the dignity of the patient. That will not happen under my watch at the CS. And this committee, I want you to support me. People are getting money, they don't want to buy beds. They want Mercy, the CEO of SHA, to pay. They want the CEO of SHA to pay for 4 beds when 3 of the Kenyans are sleeping on the floor.
Now, in other news, Public Service Minister Jeffrey Ruku has publicly admonished individuals he claims are inciting Kenyan youths to continue with ongoing protests. Speaking out against the recent wave of demonstrations, Minister Ruku criticized those he believes are manipulating young people, urging them to cease such actions. His remarks come amidst continued unrest and call for accountability following recent protests that have resulted in casualties and injuries.
Tunasema hii Kenya ni kubwa kuliko kila mtu yoyote anafikiria Kenya ni yake.
Kenya is made up of 47 counties. And it can't be that when one county inaleta furugu, kuchochewa na watu ya chuki, kuchochewa na watu ya roho chafu, watu ambao wako na ukabila mingi, watu ambao wanafikiria Kenya is a country of shares. Hadi sasa tunasemekana ni kama Kenya imefungwa. I want to report from Wajir that there are many counties across the Republic of Kenya where the government services are going on uninterrupted. And one of the counties is Wajir County, where
Isiolo Governor Abdi Guyo has pleaded not guilty to all charges leveled against him as his impeachment trial commenced today before the Senate. Governor Guyo's impeachment journey began on June 26, 2025, when 16 out of 18 members of the County Assembly voted in the favor of his ouster. He faces 3 primary accusations, that is, gross violation of the Constitution, gross misconduct, and abuse of office. He is also accused of failing to utilize bursary funds in accordance with the approved budget, resulting in a discrepancy of 30 million shillings, which cannot be accounted for.
7, 8, 9, 11, 34, and 52 of the Leadership and Integrity Act. 3, Sections 9, 10, and 21, subsection 2 of the Public Officer Ethics Act 2003. 4, Sections 2, Section 30, subsection 2, and Section 30, subsection 3 of the County Governments Act, by engaging in acts which singularly and collectively amount to gross misconduct by the following: A, making disrespectful, sexist, and demeaning statements against Senator Fatuma Adan Dulo publicly that are only meant to denigrate and degrade her as a woman leader, thus violating her right to dignity. The governor's utterances do not demonstrate respect for the people and other public officers, nor do they bring honor, dignity, or maintain public confidence in the office he holds. The governor's statements amount to gender-based psychological violence and undermine the dignity and the integrity of the governor's office. B, breaching public trust by making divisive, derogative, and discriminatory remarks against other clans residing in the county, thus undermining public confidence in the integrity of his office and sowing discord in the community. And C, being continuously absent from the county and running its affairs remotely from Nairobi, thus stalling service delivery. Honorable Abdi Ibrahim Hassan, how do you plead to the three grounds? Ground 1, guilty or not guilty?
I plead not guilty.
Ground 2, guilty or not guilty?
I plead not guilty.
Ground 3, guilty or not guilty?
I plead not guilty.
To the final update, the National Police Service has recorded 11 fatalities following the deadly Sabasaba protests that rocked the nation on Monday. In a statement yesterday, police spokesperson Mushiri Nyaga said that 52 officers and 11 civilians were injured as 567 arrests were made across the country. Likewise, 12 police vehicles, 3 government vehicles and 4 civilians vehicles were damaged. While commending the law-abiding Kenyans who heeded calls to maintain law and order, NPS stated that a few groups remained determined to engage in acts of lawlessness that involved multiple criminal acts, including attacks on law enforcement officers and looting. The recorded incidents will be subjected to further interrogation.
The DPP and the application has gone through, and we appreciate that the power of review by the DPP is now being judiciously exercised.
Well, and that's it for the news updates. We are going to take a short break right here on Science TV Prime News. When we come back, we will be giving you some sports news. Stay with us.